Sup? I'm Levi, and I'm going to talk about my favorite records that I own. And, you know, as I talk about these records, I'm going to get progressively drunker. And that's kind of what this is. We're going to drink and we're going to talk about vinyl records, and that's what I do. So to start it off, I'm already, look, guys. I'm already a little bit toasted, okay? And that's how I kind of came up with this idea, all right? I said, I want to talk about my records on YouTube because I see the folks doing it, and I'm like, well, I have insights and I have cool records. So, what can I do? And I've filmed a few of just me talking, and that's boring. It's just like a lot of them that I see. And so that's my deal, okay? That's what you're going to be subjected to is I'm talking about vinyl records that I own as I get progressively drunk during the one-sided conversation, the monologue, all right? The monologue. And if you want to drink along with me, you could probably have a dialogue at home. I don't have a problem with that. Started it off, okay? Like I said, I'm already a little bit toasted, okay? So, the record, what I'm drinking is Early Times, which is not top shelf, but it's not bottom shelf either. Okay, we're not at rot gut. I've done rot gut before, and that's no good. But I definitely don't need to spend 50 bottles a pint or dollars a bottle. Fuck ever, dude. Whatever. So toasted. We took a swig, and now we're gonna talk about Faith No More's King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. One of my absolute favorite records. It came out when I was 15, 16. I bought it the day it came out, and I went to see them in concert with a friend of mine at the time who's no longer a friend. What can you do? People turn into faggots as they get older, and can't do anything about that shit, right? So anyway, that's my history with this record. Faith No More, declared as my favorite band as a teenager. They're not really there anymore, but they're still good. I mean, I bought Soul Invictus. It's great. I love Soul Invictus. I love Faith No More. I will always have copies of their vinyl in my collection because they're great. They're a great band. You know they are. Fuck yourself, dude. For real. All right. Now, Faith No More, in general, this thing lit. Faith No More, in general, I don't care about We Care a Lot. I don't care about Introduce Yourself. They're not great albums. And Chuck Mosley, God love him. What a lovable scamp. You just wished he could have gotten it together. He never could. He passed away because of the drugs. And he wasn't a great singer. And personality can only take you so far. I didn't like We Care a Lot. It's bad. We Care a Lot's bad. Introduce Yourself is more interesting, and Faith No More starts to become a band, but it's just not. It's not the best record. Mike Patton joined Faith No More for The Real Thing, and Jim Martin, their guitarist, who is not on this record, said, "Hey, we need to get this dude Mike Patton from a band called Mr. Bungle, and he'll sing for us." And he did a great job. And The Real Thing's a good album. It's not my favorite shit. I have a copy of it just because Mike Patton's on it, but my love for Faith No More starts with Angel Dust, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, an album of the year. Soul Invictus is interesting. Not my favorite. On Soul Invictus, I love Superhero. I love Separation Anxiety on Soul Invictus. There's a few others on it, but I think as a whole, a decent, a well re-entry to we are a band coming out of retirement, and we're going to release a record for you guys in 2015. But still, it's not as strong as where they are. And speaking of that strength, so much gets put onto Angel Dust, and I think people forget about Faith No More and as far as the long haul is concerned, because you read like all these bands, all these magazine articles, all these lists that people got, and Angel Dust is always on every single one of them. It's an amazing record. Angel Dust is good, okay? And I think people forget about this album, and people who aren't Faith No More fans, they just kind of cast this aside. And who's even listening to Album of the Year if you weren't a fan and bought this record the day it was released? I mean, so Angel Dust gets its props, and just they kind of fall off. No one gives a shit about Faith No More after Angel Dust, but I do, and this is actually one of my favorite records of all time. And I love King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. I love this record. And with me, and I don't know how people feel when they buy their records. Of course, it's about the music, but for me, when I buy a record, I want the whole entire package to be phenomenal. And I love this artwork of King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. And I guess I could look at the credits real quick. No, it's not there immediately. I don't know. I guess I could look for the credits on somewhere. I don't know who did this, but it was an artist, and they picked up this artwork. It was not created for this record. I think his first name is Eric. I don't know. But look, I love the policeman. I love the dog. We're in your face, dude. You're about to get caught. And then when you turn around the back to the rest of the subway here, you see the dude. He has exited the car and he's running off. What great artwork. I love the artwork on this record, dude. It's just cool. And I love the black and the white and the red. My absolute favorite color combo of all time. Kraftwerk's Man with Machine. The white stripes just in general. I love red, white, and black. It's my favorite combo, or trio, or what the fuck ever when you're talking about art and colors, right? So, the press that I have, okay, is this OG first press from Europe, and it's a double LP. Take it on in. It's a double LP, nothing special. It's not a gatefold. It's just a regular sleeve. And it's the European first press. And the European first press was put on a translucent red. You can see me through it. It's not opaque, it's translucent. It sounds great. It sounds really good. It sounds just a skizzoch above CD, alright? Sometimes you get a record, and I'm trying to think of a good one. Some of the Mobile Fidelity Weezer albums, the Mobile Fidelity Faith No More, you put it on, and Angel Dust, you put it on, and you understand what the deal with record people is, dude. Like, and you listen to it, you can hear the separation of the instruments, you can hear the air between, you can hear what the deal is with records. This is just a step above. I wouldn't say this is better than a CD. If you have an FLAC, whatever MPEGs that is, I don't know. I don't use that. If you have a CD, maybe you could call it DVD quality or Blu-ray quality if you want to, if that makes sense to. But it's not necessarily like the perfect vinyl pressing, but it is good. It's good. It's a little bit above listening to a CD. So that's one press that I have. And then I also have the recent represses that they did in 2000 something, I don't know, before the 2020, before COVID. And it is actually a gatefold, and you open it up. Look at all that. Look at all that. And it actually has all of the CD singles and B-sides included. It's a complete compendium. It's an awesome record to have if you like this record. So if you only have a CD or you only have the first press or whatever, the music on vinyl press, which comes on a red marbled and also a black, I had a copy. It wasn't the best. It sounded like I was playing a CD, and that's not what I want. That's not why I have records. So I don't have the music on vinyl color press, the red marble, or the music on vinyl black. It didn't sway me, right? Like some do. This is a great repress that the band themselves did and looked over and everything, and it saves you the time and energy. It has 4 sides, and it has every single thing associated with this record. So now we're going to talk about the record a little bit. Talk about side one, and that means it's time to swig a little bit, right? That's the point. I was thinking about I said Vinyl Me Please. They Vinyl Me Please, like, they have some great records. They really do. They're good. They're a good company. They are. They got fanboys all over Reddit. They got a Facebook page, and they will attack you if you say anything about Vinyl Me Please. They're good. They're fine. I have a Mad Villainy that tops everything that Vinyl Me Please released. I got a couple of jazz records that Vinyl Me Please did that are just like, you put them on, you're like, that's why I'm listening to records. That's why I spent so much money on my receiver. So Vinyl Me Please is fine, but they kind of had this thing like, they're going to say like, okay, you get a record. And with the record, what you get is a drink recipe. So this is the drink to listen to the record to. And that is just, it's so gay. So my response is basically, I'm just going to get shit-faced and talk about my regular records. So that's why I'm doing this. So anyway, let's move on to side one of Faith No More's King for a Day, Foll for a Lifetime. 1995. The band members were Mike Patton. The band members were Mike Borden on the drums, and then you had Billy fucking Gould on the bass and Roddy Bottum. Of course, how could you have Faith No More without Roddy Bottum on the keyboards and the synth, and Trey Spruance on the guitar. And that's important because Jim Martin was a founding member of Faith No More. And after Angel Dust was released, he said, hey, this is bullshit. I don't want to be doing this avant-garde metal nonsense, dude. I just want to be in a metal band. Mike Patton's making it all weird, and we're all taking left turns, and we're cool with it. It ain't my style. Fuck you guys. I'm out of Faith No More. Bye. So Mike Patton said, hey, let's get Trey Spruance from my high school band, Mr. Bungle, and he'll play guitars on it. And what's really great is if you know Mr. Bungle, you know what they're about, and you know how they write music. Trey Spruance on this record is so straightforward and so consistent and so lean when you're listening to the guitar, and his contribution is just straightforward rock, and it's great, dude. It's not what I would, when I heard that Trey Spruance was on this album, he's going to be the guitarist. I was like, oh my god, they're going to be doing Arabian shit. They're going to be doing, it's going to sound like a circus or some shit. It really wasn't. He's really, I don't even want to say he's restrained, because I don't think he restrained himself with this record. I think he was just being a professional and providing the guitar that the band was asking for. And it's damn fucking good. It really is. And after this album, he didn't like the touring. He didn't like the dedication he had to have to Faith No More, and he quit. He said bye. They got John Hudson, he's just such a cool dude. John Hudson, Faith No More's guitarist now on Album of the Year, Soul Invictus, and whatever they do, John Hudson will be playing guitar. He's so like, and not flashy. He's just him. He's playing the guitar. He's playing the solos. He's good at what he does. He's technically great. And he doesn't take anything away from Faith No More to say, hey, listen to me playing the guitar. He lays on his guitar on top of it. But That's not who we're talking about, okay? So anyway, Tracy Ruins playing on this. It's great. First song, side one, Get Out. And this is Faith No More has a Faith No More with these real straightforward 2 minute long songs. It's done. We're not fucking around. That's all it is. They get it out. It's great. Get Out is a wonderful song. Whew, they opened their show in San Francisco with Get Out, and I mean, it blew it wide open. And I remember, if you remember the color scheme, I'm talking about the black, the white, and the red. The spotlights and the lights for the show were all white, red, and kind of this weird kind of black ice. Like it was black, like you could see it was black, but it was still kind of gray almost. Really cool light show, and it was just and then I don't language anymore. And they're all flashing, and it's so good and everything. Just a great little punk rock ditty, and we're done. And it's classic Mike Patton lyrics. It's just, I'm done with you, go away. And that's something else interesting about this record that I don't think a lot of people know is Mike Patton has had a longtime girlfriend that he met in Italy. And when he was writing this record and composing lyrics for this record and working with the band for this record, he was in a rough patch with that lady. So this is almost like a divorce album, like Rumors or Sea Change or something. It's a breakup album. And I don't think people know that about this record. And I love the title, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. When I first met you and we were fucking and the sex was good and we weren't having any problems, King for a Day, dude. I felt like the king. When things started to go south and you didn't like me anymore and perhaps I got too angry a few times, you dumped me and you left me, Fool for a Lifetime, absolutely. The first song, Get Out. I'm done. I'm leaving. 2 to 3 minutes long. We're just done and we're gone and bye. Ricochet, the next song, 2 chords, man, C and D. And it goes on. It follows that progression the whole time. And you hear Mike Patton saying what he's saying. And he does one of the favorite things that he does when he writes his lyrics is he takes cliches and like just, common sayings that we kind of say when we're talking. Like if I'm talking to my boss about something, I go, well, it's a nickel one way or 5 pennies the other way. He takes those kind of sayings and he kind of converts them into actual lyrics. And we know the lyrics of this one. If you know this record and you like this record, this is absolutely the one where he says, it's always funny until someone gets hurt, and then it's just hilarious. He takes those common cliches and he'll twist it and pervert it a little bit to fit into the record to make his point, and it's really good. And who hasn't felt that? Number one, you say, get the fuck out, okay? Get out right now. All right. And then when you have those fights with your ex or someone who may be your ex, you know what I mean? Like you care about them and you love them, but you put a little barb in there and it's funny to watch them take the sting, right? I love it. I love it. I love the way he does that. And he did that on Angel Dust a lot. There was a lot of lyrics on Angel Dust that were just, they were fortune cookies that he found. Life to you is a dashing, bold adventure. Sing and rejoice. Sing and rejoice. That's a fortune cookie, and I've actually gotten it a few times. And a lot of those lyrics on Angel Dust are just reappropriated cliches and sayings. I love when Mike Patton does that. It's so great. The next song on this, it starts off, get out right now. And then it's Ricochet. And then Evidence. And it's just like this really like just groove. It's a really cool groove. It's a great song. I would hate to call any Faith No More song pretty, but Evidence is pretty. It's a pretty song. I like Evidence by Faith No More. And again, it's kind of, it's breakup-y, right? You didn't mean anything to me. I didn't feel a thing, right? You didn't mean anything. I didn't feel a thing. Go away. This is done. It's not going to affect me. If you just walk away, we're fine. Which is it's a really mature version of it's a really mature version of Limp Bizkit's "I Did It All for the Nookie," right? I did it all for the Nookie. It's the same exact sentiment. It's the same exact sentiment. So while I'm not like a huge fan of Limp Bizkit, and I'm not like, you know, trying to defend them or anything that Fred Durst has said, let's not pretend that we all haven't felt the same way at some time. And when you have someone who's at a level of Mike Patton and he's expressing the same sentiment that Fred Durst expressed in his Limp Bizkit songs, you know, it's the same deal. It is. Get the fuck over it. It is. And you know for a fact, okay? You know for a fact that once in your life, you did it all for the Nookie. And you did. So just fucking admit it, alright? And then, like, probably one of, like, the classic, like, when you talk to Faith No More fans and they get excited and they love stuff, like, the classic gentle art of making enemies is just such a great song. And you hear in the 90s, there was a lot of, oh, I didn't notice it. Look at this. I never noticed this. Oh my God, it looks like a dog chewed on it. I never noticed this on my fucking, like, first press from Europe. What happened here? It's almost going all the way through. That's disturbing. Wow, this is the first time, I'm sorry, this is just the first time I noticed. It's like someone, like, it's like a dog chewed on it, or like someone, it got hit by something. Alright, we gotta be a little bit more careful, you know. The gentle art of making enemies, a big thing in the 90s, and of course Nirvana was so influential and had such an impact with Nevermind. And a lot of Nevermind was based on the whole quiet, loud aspect of writing music, which some people would say he stole from the Pixies. And to me, honestly, I think it's just natural evolution. It's a good sound. It sounds cool. I mean, chorus, verse, loud, quiet, loud. Not really revolutionary. I don't think anything was stolen, but the gentle art of making enemies. It starts, it has this like little bass line. It's just Patton, just you did so remember the same mistakes, and then it like busts into something really loud. It's quiet, loud, and then one of the classic, like, why we love Mike Patton so much is this degradation that he gets in his voice when his voice absolutely falls apart because he's putting so much emotion. He's screaming so loud. And you have that. I never felt this much alive. I never felt this much alive. It's so good. Okay. Then we go on to Star AD. Left turn. Uh-oh. Here we go. Yeah, we're talking about Faith No More, dude. We're talking about Faith No More. And when you talk about Faith No More, you're talking about left turns in music. You're talking about shifts in style. You're talking about something unexpected on the record. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're playing a rock song, then all of a sudden it's all a bunch of noise crap. Changes in genre, changes in style. Star AD, just a funky with some horns, and the bass is hitting. Faith No More fans love that song. Is it good? And they play it live, unfortunately, without the horns. I don't know why they wouldn't hire a horn section. I think some horns would do a lot of good on a lot of Faith No More songs if they just acclimated it live. They don't do that, though. They don't. Then we go to Cuckoo for Kaka, which is another, it's hard, it's aggressive, and it's one of these songs that just kind of falls apart and it gets real dirty and nasty. I like Cuckoo for Kaka a lot. And then we come to Karalaho Volador, which I hate. I don't understand this song. And Faith No More has one skipper for me until recently. I'm sorry, I said Faith No More. I meant to say Angel Dust. I'm probably already a little bit too toasted, but that's okay. All right. I said Faith No More, but I meant Angel Dust. I used to skip Jizz Lobber on Angel Dust. I didn't like it. I didn't like it until until recently. Later on in life, I'm 45 now. Later on in life, I don't know if I just heard it enough or maybe I just attuned into it or something. But now I do not skip Jizz Lobber. It's one of my favorite songs. But that's the thing about Angel Dust. So now, because of the Jizz Lobber thing that happened in my life recently, I don't skip anything on Angel Dust. But every single Faith No More record has a couple of songs that I just skip. Sometimes they're left turns I don't like. And Carvala Ho La Voilo is one of those songs. It's the most pointless song in the world. It's this California 70s, driving down 101 song, and it's exactly what he says in the lyrics. I'm driving straight down 101, and he wants that in your head. This is 70s soft rock California. I don't know if you saw the who the fuck is it? With Fred Armisen, the documentary about the Blue Jean Committee, right? That was their thing, 70s soft rock, and that's what it is. It's soft rock, and it makes no sense, and I fucking hate it, and I never listen to it. I don't like that song. It's stupid, and I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm riding straight down 101. I'm gonna go in. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Fuck that song. I hate that song. And then they follow with Ugly in the Morning, which is, again, another song where he's taking a cliche or something that we kind of say in life, in our conversation, and he's turning it into a lyric that means something. Don't look at me, I'm ugly in the morning. Let's not forget this is a breakup album. This is a divorce album. And I certainly understand, dude. Do not approach me in the morning because I'm fucking ugly, dude. I am ugly in the morning. And I'm sure there are people who could attest to that, who know me. Like, dude, I wake up swinging. And I love this song because it's talking to me and it makes sense to me. Yes, Mike Patton, me too. I am ugly in the morning. I am abusive. My language is bad. I don't want you fucking talking to me. I don't even want you fucking me in the morning, okay? Like, just stay the fuck away. I love this song. It's my theme song. Don't look at me. I'm ugly in the morning. And again, another classic Patton breakdown, disintegration, and ability to sing. He's always on tune. He's so good. He's so good. He's always on tune. But the voice is cracking. It's falling apart. Everything is just degrading. I love it. I love it. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Then we go to side C. And, I'm sorry. No, Ugly in the Morning starts side C. My bad. Okay. After Ugly in the Morning, probably one of my top 5 Faith No More songs, Dig in the Grave. Just straightforward rock. The guitar is just strong and it's a pulse and it's pummeling you. And Puffy is so good on the drums. It's just like, it's a tribal funk, but it's still backing up that kind of punk like palm mute. It's so good. Dig in the Grave is one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite Faith No More songs, and it's one of my favorite songs. Okay, I love Dig in the Grave, and it's so good. And Patton gets to do everything that he does, which he does so well. He's got just the rap on top of it. Then he has a little whoa 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 over it, and it's great. And then we come to another left turn that Faith No More loves to do. Take This Bottle. I like it. I like Take This Bottle. It's country. It's low key. It's it's grand in its own way. Not necessarily the musicianship, but just the composed song itself. It's a good song. It is. It is. And I like country in general, like that old timey country, you know what I mean? And it hits all those marks. It's not really my favorite Faith No More song, and but there's still something with its inclusion on this record that I don't question its choice. It sounds right. Where Carvalho Valedor has no business being on this album whatsoever. Take This Bottle is another severe left turn that actually fits and it sounds good. And I like it a lot. I do. And Patton gets to show off his chops. He's, you know, and he gets to sing a little bit. He belts a little bit, and it's good. And Take This Bottle, you know what I mean? Here, take it. Walk away, dude. Fine. Gotcha. Take my bottle. Take yourself. Walk away. We're going to be okay. All right? And it's fine. It's a fine song. Then we come down for King for a Day. There's two epics on this album. They saved it to the fourth side. All right. And King for a Day is the first one. Starts off acoustically and Patton's talking, and then it gets heavy, and there's a heavy part, and then there's the guitar solo, and then the song kind of like breaks down. It's very prog in a way, and I love this song, King for a Day. King for a Day is a great song. It goes on and on, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. There's nothing weird about it. But then there's a breakdown for about a minute and a half to 2 minutes of just kind of like everybody dropping out of the song. And I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool. And Patton, another thing that Patton does when he sings is he hooks onto a line and he just repeats it. And he repeats it. And he repeats it. And he repeats it. Like on Small Victory on Faith No More. If I speak at one constant volume, at one constant pitch, at one constant rhythm, right into your ear, you still won't hear. And it's the same. He repeats that throughout the song, and then he gets into the breakdown of the song, and he's repeating and repeating and repeating. On King for a Day, he's saying, "This is the best party I've been to," and he's repeating and he's repeating. It's so good, dude. And like, I think if I'm remembering, I just listened to the record before I started up the camera here. I think the bass drops out first, and then there's still some synth behind it, and that kind of like it holds, it sustains through the whole thing. The bass drops out, and then the guitar, which is kind of an acoustic strum, it kind of drops out, and Trey starts lightening up his strums, and he's only hitting a couple strings this time, and then the next bar he's only hitting this string, and it slowly fades out, and then the bass kind of fades out on its own, and then you just have this little light little drum. This is the best party I've been to, and the whole song just kind of dies, and it's such a great song. I love King for a Day. It's so good. Next is What a Day, which is just another like punch you in the face 1, 2. It's good. It's a rocker. It's one of their 2.5 minute rockers. There's nothing else to say about it. It's great. And again, he's taking that cliche. He's taking that common saying that we kind of say day by day, and he's converting it into his own lyrics. What a day if you can look it in the face and hold your vomit, which is a great thought. I mean, what a day, dude. Any day you're not looking at everything around you, you're just fucking throwing up, dude. That's a good day. And I agree, without a doubt. Nothing much to say about it. It's a good song. It holds its own, without a doubt. And then The Last to Know, which is kind of the song, like, for the longest time, it was like Jizzlobber, like I didn't care. There's something about it that I just don't like. Maybe it's too slow. Maybe Puffy's not doing the right things behind the guitar riff. It's a good riff, and his lyrics are decent. There's nothing. inherently wrong with the last to know. It just kind of, about halfway through, I feel like it kind of drags. And I love the breakdown. Bam, 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 and bam, bam, wow, wow. It's a good breakdown. And like maybe if it was shorter and they just concentrated more on that breakdown, it would make more sense to me. I'm not sure. I don't like the last to know. That's a skipper for me. You might have a different opinion. I'm not sure. But after that, we come to Just a Man. And that's a great song, Just a Man. And it's a funk, like, it's upbeat, like there's a funk beat behind it. And our singer, our narrator, is looking to the sky for answers, and he decides that, it might not be the answer he wants, so I'm not going to hold on to that star, right? He's putting it to the side. Like, I'm just a man. Maybe I can't handle the answer you're going to give me. I'm just a man, right? You're gonna hurt my feelings. You're gonna hurt me, is what Mike Patton is saying in this song. So I'm not gonna hold on to your star. I'm not hitching my wagon to your star, cunt. But the cool thing about Just a Man is, as Faith No More fans know, when it finally hits and that chorus hits, there's a gospel choir behind it, and the gospel choir goes nuts, and they sound great. It sounds so good, and the guitar is so chunky and linear. And Patton is just belting it, man. You're burning me. And when I saw them live, and every time they played Just a Man, they did kind of the same thing, where at the end of the song, excuse me, at the end of the song, there was kind of this breakdown of sorts, and it was going nuts, and it's loud, and the choir's going off, and he's just singing, and it fades out. They do that fucking annoying thing where they just turn the volume down, and the song kind of just fades out volume wise. Not like King for a Day, where the instruments fall out one by one and the song ends. I hate that shit. I hate the volume fade out. I fucking hate it, dude. And every time I've seen them live, when they do Just a Man, they're doing the breakdown and the gospel-y nonsense and all that, everything. And then everything just stops, and Patton goes, "You're burning me!" Blah! It's such a great ending. Why didn't they do this on the record? Why didn't they record the song like that? It is so perfect. Oh well, I wasn't in the studio with them. I'm obviously not in Faith No More, so I have no input. I just think it was a bad decision to have this be a volume fade out instead of them ending it like they do live. When Patton just gets to belt it, just solo, and you can hear that voice. God, he's so good. No cracks, right on time, right in tune, and it just hits. And then the band does that like classic, bam, 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 bam. So epic. And they didn't record it. They do it live, but they didn't record it. So this is a great album. I fucking love this album. I'm gonna put this version away, and because that's the record itself. It's a wonderful album, man. If you like hard rock, it's an album you need. So let's get to the special compendium edition released a few years ago by Faith No More themselves on Slash. Some bonus tracks I have on an Absolute Zero. That was a B-side. It's okay, whatever. Greenfields, which is a cover. I don't know who they covered it by. It's fine. It's a little electro, and then I don't know. It's fine. I wouldn't write home about it. I started a joke by the Bee Gees. I don't know. You're like, dude, and like during Angel Dust, they did Easy by the Commodores, and it was like kind of like, oh, you're this weird alternative metal band, and you're doing this doo-wop cover that's like you're not even fucking with it. It's like a perfect cover, right? It sounds almost identical, except Mike Patton just carrying it just a few notches above Lionel Richie. They do the same thing with "I Started a Joke" with the Bee Gees song from the '60s, and man, does he hit it! There's a point in "I Started a Joke" like you want singing, vocal talent. That's the one you talk to him about. Spanish Eyes, it's fine. I Won't Forget You. I've already forgotten that song. Hippie Jam song. It's dumb. There's an Italian version of Evidence where he's singing in Italian, and that's romantic. I'm sure I don't, forgot about it. And then they do a Gigi Allen song. I want to fuck myself, and that's fine too. So the bonus material's good, and I think that this compendium version of King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime is worth it. Buy it if you haven't listened to it. Otherwise, just buy the record itself if you haven't listened to it. My opinion, the OG from Europe, which comes in a red translucent sounds, is the best. It sounds good. You put it on and you say, hey, this is why I bought this record player, and this is why I bought this receiver, and this is why I give a shit about my speakers. All right, the OG European red translucent version satisfies all of those requests you're making of your wallet. Okay, it's a good record. I would seek that one out first. And then once you have that record, the compendium edition with all of the B-sides and extras is definitely worth the money it's calling for if you want this record. Faith No More, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. I love fucking you. I loved being with you. I was a king that night. And then as we got to know each other and hang out with each other a little bit more, I was kind of a fool to put so much trust in you. Wonderful breakup album. My favorite Faith No More album above Angel Dust. And that's important because that's the key. That's the one the motherfucker's talking about. Faith No More's King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. My favorite album. I'm drunk. I love smoking cigarettes. I'm going to post this shit, and I hope you like it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.